Hello everyone, welcome to today's roundtable discussion. Our topic is climate change and how we can solve or slow it down. We've invited 4 guests, an environmental volunteer, a scientist who studies plants and animals, an international relations expert, and a sociologist. We hope to hear different perspective。我操了，不好意思，是我的问题。We hope to hear different perspectives and。
没事，你直接硬着头皮读下去就行了。
好，
你这不管它有啥错，读错了，你接着往下进行就行了，没事的。
Hello everyone, welcome to today's roundtable discussion. Our topic is climate change and how we can solve or slow it down. We've invited 4 guests, an environmental volunteer, a scientist who studies plants and animals, an international relations expert, and a sociologist. We hope to hear different perspectives and encourage interaction. Let's begin by interviewing the environmental volunteers to hear their voice.
Thank you, host. Hi everyone, I'm really happy to speak here today. I believe that climate change is real and it is getting worse every year. We can see that in the world around us, ice is melting, sea levels are rising, and we are getting more and more extreme weather like floods, heat waves, and droughts. The biggest reason for this is greenhouse gases, which came from things like cars, factories, and power plants. These gases trap heat in the air and make the earth warmer. That's why we need to change the way we live. Starting with small steps in our daily life. I believe everyone can help, not just the government or big companies. Ordinary people like us can also make a big difference. For example, we can try to use less single-use plastic, like a plastic bag, straws, and bottle. We can carry our own water bottle or shopping bag. It is very easy to do and it helps a lot. Also, we have practice with sorting, putting things like paper, plastic, and food waste into different bins. This helps recycling and reduce the amount of garbage sent to landfills. Another thing we can do is use green transport instead of driving everywhere. We can ride a bicycle, walk, or take public transport. This reduces carbon emissions and also make us healthy. I ride my bike to school and encourage my friends to do the same. Besides our daily actions, I also hope that local governments can make better and stronger environmental rules. For example, they can give rewards for recycling or using eco-friendly products. They can support green business and clean energy, like solar and wind. If the government make it easy for people to go green, more people will join. I also think companies have a role to play. They should make a public products that are good for the environment, and they should reduce waste in their factories. And of course, schools should teach students how to protect the environment starting from a young age. environmental protection is not just one personal job. Should be a movement that is everyone take part in. When more people care about the planet, we will see real change. Even if we start with small things like turning off lights, using less water, or planting a tree, it can lead to bigger results. To end my talk, I want to say this: we share one Earth. If we don't protect it now, we will lose it in the future. So let's work together, students, teachers, parents, companies, and governments, and making environmental protection a part of our daily life. Thank you.
Yes, what you mentioned about this daily action is really important. From my research, many animals and plants have lost their habitat due to environmental damage caused by our living habits, such as polar bears and coral reefs. Therefore, personal environmental protection can also reduce the burdens on nature. Thank you.
Yes, we always say that when we talk to people at schools and in the community, anyone can make a big difference.
Okay. Uh, thank you for the environment volunteers. It sounded like starting with small daily actions. It's a great approach. Now let's hear from the different voice. Let's hear from the scientists. Could you tell us about the challenges climate change bring to ecosystems?
Okay, thank you, host. The change reaction triggered by global warming far exceeds our imaginations. A large number of species are forced to adjust their migration routes that have preserved for thousands of years. Artisans are forced to shorten their flying distance. African elephant herds lose their way due to fragmentation of their habitat, and many more plants and animals are on the verge of extinction as they cannot adapt to the rapidly changing climate. This change, like the butterfly effect, seriously threatens the stability of ecosystems. To reverse this situation, it is urgent to protect the living space of species by restoring threatened ecosystems. Not only can by carbon sink capacity be enhanced, but also habitat can be provided for migratories, birds and aquatic organisms. Construction biological corridors can connect fragmented ecological space and help species migrate to adapt to climate change. These nature-based solutions are not only a safeguard for biodiversity, but also important path to alleviate to climate crisis.
Yes, protecting nature also needs countries to work together. For example, they should share money and ideas to save animals. Some animals travel close, so one country cannot protect them alone.
Alright, this is also what our scientists hold to call for. Different countries taking action together to protect those species that need to migrate. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing those insights. We can see that protecting nature is closely connected to tackling climate change. Next, I'd like to invite the international relations experts to share thoughts on how countries can work together on these global issues.
Okay, thank you, host. Climate change is a world problem. No country can fix it alone. Countries must work together and make deals like COP2A. About COP2A, a big meeting that happened in Dubai in 2023. At COP2A, many countries agreed that we must stop global warming from going above 1.5 temperature. This is very important because if the Earth gets too hot, we will have more floods, storms, and fires. But to stop this, countries must cut pollution first. Not all countries can do the same things. Some poor countries need help from rich countries to reach their goals, although some countries caused more climate change in the past. So they should do more now. Let's talk about a few countries. China is now the biggest polluter, but it also uses a lot of clean energy, like sun, wind, clean energy. That's good, but China still use coal and did not join the global methods pledge. The US is the second biggest polluter. They made a new law to help the climate, and they said they will work with China. But they are still drawing from oil, so they are not doing enough yet. The UK has done a good job in the past by using more wind and sun energy. But in 2023, they gave more oil and gas license. This makes it hard for them to reach their goals. At COP28, all countries said they will move away from fossil fuels. This is the first time they said this. They also want to trap clean energy by 2030, and rich countries will give money to help poor countries when they have big slumps or floods. In conclusion, we must do more to stop climate change. Thank you.
Yes, I'd like to add that such as international cooperation should focus on fairness. Otherwise, some countries with low emissions may be a lot of rules, which could interfere social stability.
Yes, if we ignore fairness, many countries will not want to help for alone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. International cooperation is a need in nature. Now, let's turn to the sociologist. Could you tell us what climate change means for human society?
Okay, hello everyone. Today I want to talk about your importance issue and the effects use of climate change. Climate change is important every person on Earth. How you notice that sunrise are getting hotter. Extreme weather events are becoming more frequent. Globals and methane soils live are reasons, and many animals are lose their home. The root cause of these problems is likely human activity. We burn too much coal, oil, and gas, releasing the massive emission of greenhouse gas, making the earth feel worse. But the good news is every one of us can help solve this problem. Through the challenge is great. If we enter and take action, we can change the future. What can we do? First, save energy and reduce pollution. Turn off lights and uplight devices when not in use. Walk, bike, or use public transport instead of driver. Choose energy efficient application to reduce waste. Second, reduce waste and protect nature. Use fewer bike, short and record trash properly. Plant trees and plant more to make the earth greener. Third, inspire others and act together. Induct family and friends about the importance of climate change. Support eco-friendly public and business choose substitution products, join environmental activities, and speak up for our planet. Our action matter. Some may say, what difference can I only make? But remember, countless small action ends up to create this big change. If everyone save a little energy and reduce a little waste, the earth will become healthier. Friends, climate change is not a distant problem. It's happening now, affecting our lives. But we don't have to be afraid because the power to save it is in our hands. Let's start today. For ourselves, for future greeners, and for the beautiful plants. Let's work together. Our earth is very worth practice and our future is worth fighting for. Climate change affects not just the environment, but also our society. For example, French natural disasters make low-income people lose their homes. Ensure everyone can get resources to deal with climate change. This including greatness, clean drink water, and stable food supply, which can make our society more stable. Thank you.
That make me think of our volunteer work. We help people in the community with climate change too. Like we teach them to save water and power so they can spend less money. I think this also a kind of fairness.
Right, that's really meaningful. Really, action should also be put into practice in communities. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you to all our guests for the wonderful discussion and the great interaction. For personal action and existence protection to international corruption and social fairness. We've heard many valuable ideas. I hope today's discussion inspires everyone to take action. Thank you.